Hey guys, we're going to start off with the concept of CNC programming, which CNC stands for Computer Numerical Control, and we'll be working with the vertical milling machine centers. You guys are probably used to, on the manual machine, you're moving the axes, right? And you're looking at the readout. With the CNCs, you're essentially telling the digital readout what to do, and the machine is moving. Before you can begin cutting, some thoughts need to be put into your program similar to the process plan. Regardless of the machine, mill, or lathe, we're going to be working with the Cartesian coordinate system. I'll draw that up there. Excuse my lack of straightness of the graph. And you'll be approaching the table of the CNC mill like a graph and plotting out your X and Y coordinates. So this is X positive, Y positive, X negative, and Y negative. The center, most points, we're going to work off of here. This would be 0, 0. That means that on the X, we're at 0, and on the Y, we're at 0. There are two types of programming modes, G90 and G91. They both tell the machine a different way to move from point to point. G90 is going to be absolute programming mode. The all-axis motions are fixed off a 0 point, known as absolute 0, which is right here, 0, 0. No matter what points you plot, they will all come from 0. Wherever you assign your 0 in the machine, that's where your points will come off of. So if you were to look at this graph and you had to drill a hole over here, and that was -1, and this is +1, you would tell the machine to go to -1, 1. In absolute programming mode, you would also program this bottom hole here to -1, -1. So you're working off this fixed 0 point of 0, 0. Okay. When you're at the machine, it's you're going to edge find and set your work coordinate system to a 0, 0. And if you're in an absolute programming mode, that's where the machine will move off that fixed 0, 0 to whatever location you tell it. Now, incremental mode is a little bit different. This one right here. This is going to be a movement from your last location. So it's not going to be from a fixed 0, 0 like absolute. So your first point in the top left quadrant would still be -1, 1, because you would essentially work off 0 to begin with and move to -1, 1. But if your next hole was down here, where in absolute it was -1, -1, in incremental mode, G91, it would be your amount of movement from that last location to your new location, 0, and then the Y would be -2. So -1, -2. My apologies on that. So this is incremental programming that point. A little bit of a difference, right? And we try to stick with G90. It saves a lot of confusion and a lot of mistakes from happening in collisions. because you're working off a fixed 0, 0 point, and it's much easier to work off a 0, 0 and program your points than to calculate the distances between points. You can think of G91 incremental programming as a restart of 0. The machine's going to move to whatever coordinates you tell it, but from the last point plotted. So you think of incrementally as a restart. So wherever your first point is, that is going to be 0 for your next point. So work through the homework assignments in Module 1 for absolute G90 and incremental G91 plot pointing. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I will be very happy to help. Thank you.